Hey vlog. I have not recorded myself I think the last time I vlogged was December 15th and it's now, let's see, January 11th. So it's been a while. I'm knocking the dust off, blowing off the cobweb. Figured I would do just like a sit down chatty vlog today. And by vlog, I mean actually just a sit down video, just a chatty. Can you tell I'm rusty? Me too. So just wanted to give a recap of basically my end of the year. Honestly, recap 2024, talk about goals for 2025, all that kind of stuff. Oh, totally forgot. I absolutely chopped all of my hair off. It's not a big shave like I want or like I will do in the future, like I've done in the past. But I have a nice, cute little bob. Yes, I got this done the week before Christmas, and I will have my hairstylist link down below. This is the first time I've got my hair professionally cut in like, I don't know, probably 8 years. 4 years ago I shaved my head, and then since then my hair is probably like down to my waist, and so I just cut that off. I think it was probably like 8 inches or so, but I love the short hair. I do feel like I have to style it a lot more. Like wearing it straight, it's okay. I just washed it this morning, so it's still air drying, but I feel like I have to curl it or do something with it now, where like with my longer hair I could just put it in a ponytail and I would look good. But not to say I don't look good now, of course. Maybe I should introduce myself too. Hi guys, my name's Rebecca. If you're new here, welcome or welcome back. I am 26. I'm married. My husband's name is Josh. We have 4 cats. This is our house, which you can only see a white wall of, but we moved last May and we've been here since. What else? I'm in school. I work for Wayfair. Yeah, anyway, let's recap 2024. I have my new journal for 2025. I have my iPad over here, so I'm going to be looking at this. But let's first start off by recapping 2024. I'm going to go through every month and kind of just say what I've been up to, or what I did in 2024. And this is more of like a time capsule for me. You, of course, can go back and watch my vlogs if you want to see exactly what I was doing last year, since I document most things. And yeah, so starting off January, looking at my calendar, it was a quiet month. Did a lot of date weekends, had a game night. I was dog sitting at my friend Ian's house actually for like a full week, maybe like 9 days. Yeah, it was a while. And while I was doing that, I scheduled my hysterectomy. I had an appointment with like a consultation with a gynecologist or an OBGYN, like obstetrician gynecologist. I'm not sure exactly. She does both. But anyway, I made an appointment with my doctor on January 2nd as a consultation to see like if this was possible, what my other options would have been, and all of that. And so that happened January 2nd. I was dog sitting from the 24th to the 1st. And during that week, I was able to schedule my hysterectomy, which we'll talk about. But when it was originally scheduled, it was scheduled for April. So I thought I was going to have 4 months to like mentally prepare, physically prepare, like prepare my family, my husband, all that kind of stuff. And ultimately, like I was called one day and it was told me that it was going to be April. Like absolutely, completely fine. That was even sooner than I thought it was going to be. And I've talked about this previously when I've talked about my hysterectomy, but I have been so lucky and have had such an easy experience getting what I've wanted from this surgery, where I know a lot of women, this process is not as simple. Anyway, with that being said, my surgery was originally scheduled for April. The literal next day, they called me and said, actually, we can fit you in February. So mind you, this was told to me on probably, I think it was the 25th or the 26th. That next week, I had my pre-op appointment. And literally 2 weeks from the day I scheduled my hysterectomy was the day I got my hysterectomy. Unreal. Scheduled my hysterectomy, started my pre-op appointments, and yeah, dog sat my friend. Anyway, so now we're in February, which an absolutely crazy month, honestly. So started out the month by like meal prepping, the most food I've ever meal prepped in my entire life. I made like so many lasagnas, like so many baked pasta dishes, like cleaned my house like way deeper than I ever had before, and went to the gym like every single day because I knew I was going to be on my ass for a while. And February 9th, I had my hysterectomy. And I know most of you guys that watch these vlogs know me, or I mean, you can definitely go back and watch my videos, but you know, I have never wanted children. I've known this since I was very, very young, and I've also had really bad periods. Turns out I had endometriosis. Anyway, I just cannot stop smiling about this. I got a hysterectomy at 25, and I would do it again. I would do it 4 more times. I mean, like, it was the best decision I've ever made for myself. So February 9th, I had my hysterectomy. It went so smoothly. As far as I know, I mean, shit, anything could have happened in that surgical room, whatever, but like, it was so easy, few hours. That literal weekend I hosted for the Super Bowl because I'm a fucking crazy person. But anyway, it was so great. My doctor was incredible. She was even like having a surgeon shadow her. So it's like, you know, your doctor's good shit when they're having someone shadow them. And they were really great. It was just like an overall awesome experience. My work is great and we have really, really good benefits. Like, if I were to leave Wayfair, it wouldn't be because of the benefits, that's for sure. So anyway, I was on medical leave for 2 weeks, and during that time, I spent time with my mom, my mother-in-law, had a girls' weekend down at my friend's house, and that was great. All in this time too, Josh and I have been house hunting. Josh started his new job in January with a new dealership that was an hour away from where we lived previously. So he was commuting for a while, and it was fine, but ideally we knew we were going to be moving more north, okay, where we are now, closer to his work. So also in my time off after the surgery, while I'm trying to recover, we're looking at houses, and we're showing our house. Like, we had our first open house, listed our house, all that kind of fun stuff, but getting a little ahead there. Had my first post-op appointment. I did not heal as quickly as expected. Being so young and so healthy, I was expected to heal within 4 to 6 weeks. Ultimately, that turned into about 8 weeks before I was fully healed and could get back like to the gym and all that kind of stuff. But all in all, like, everything has healed really fine since then. Okay, anyway, we are in March now. So like I said, we listed our house and we're looking at houses in February. And this house we actually looked at on February 27th. And then that following weekend, we posted our house, had our first open house, had different showings, all that kind of stuff. And in that time, we put an offer on this house. And if you hadn't watched previous vlogs, you may not know this, but we put on 3 offers for 3 different houses and got declined on every single one of them. So when we put an offer on this house, not to say we had our hopes up or anything, but we were like really hoping it would get accepted. This house that we're in is like our old house's big brother. We really didn't need anything larger than what we had. Of course, like, as I just mentioned, I had a hysterectomy. Like, we're not having children. We're not growing our family in that way, so we don't need more space. We just wanted to kind of upgrade what we already had and all that kind of stuff. So definitely go back and watch the house hunting videos if you want to like see more about that process, because I won't dive into like exactly that right now. But anyway, so yeah, February was crazy. We put in an offer and then we got it accepted. And then the same weekend we put in the offer here, we also got an offer on our old home. So within the matter of like 3 weeks, we posted our house, bought this house, sold our house. Started that process anyway. So we had to do the appraisals, we had the inspections, and all of that was just on the table in March. And yeah, that was mostly, March was all of just like, okay, crunch time too, because we're like, our closing day ended up being April 30th. So we had to fully pack our house by then. Luckily, we've been house hunting since like September, October of 2023. So we've been like slowly packing since then. So it wasn't too crazy. And I work from home and I had a very flexible schedule. Since I wasn't able to go to the gym and do any working out, since I was still recovering from my hysterectomy, I had a lot of time to stay at home and like kind of get our house ready for that. Now we are in April, and April was crazy. Had my final pre-op That was towards the end of the month, but finally marked as clear for that, which was great. Let's see. We saw the eclipse with one of our couple friends, which is awesome. Like, took the day off of work, like called out and like went to go stare at the sun and the moon for a bit, which was really great. So it's like bonding like that with our couple friends is great. Like, we don't really have a lot of couple friends, and the ones we do, like, we really cherish. So that was a really fun experience. And then it was really just crunch time, like I was saying. Like, we were just packing, and closing day was on the 30th. So we ordered a truck to actually like pack and move our things for us, because we didn't want to do the whole U-Haul thing. Like, when we first moved into our first home, I had my apartment, Josh was living with me at the time, and like then Josh was also living with his brother before that, so we didn't really have a lot of things, so it was easy enough to like get a U-Haul or like pack our parents' cars or like our own cars with our shit. With our Buxton house, we were there for 5 years. I don't know. If you moved, you know. You don't not know how much shit you have and how much shit you can accumulate over that amount of time, especially like with a 3-bedroom home and our 2 people. Anyway, so yeah, that's just, even like thinking about that is freaking crazy. Anyway, so we packed up a truck, did all that kind of stuff, brought our cats to Josh's parents' house so they could have them and we won't have to worry about moving them and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, closing day was the 30th. So now we're in May. Fucked up month, let me tell you something. So closing day was absolutely not what we expected. When we did our final walkthrough of this house, it was disgusting. Trash everywhere. Like, especially outside, there was a few metal sheds that were left, and they were like all filled to the brim with just trash garbage. The actual garage that was here, I mean, it's still here, but that garage was filled with a bunch of junk, and then in the house was just dirty and nasty. So usually during a walkthrough, you're just checking to make sure that everything is tip-top shape, like it's supposed to be. And unfortunately, that was not the case. And I've said this in previous vlogs, and we got so lucky buying our first house. Granted, I was 19, I think. Like, we were far too young to be doing that, but buying our first house was so easy. And we figured, we're buying a house that was built 50 years sooner. Like, this house is only 1.5 years old, probably 2 at this point. And we're older. We figured it'd be a breeze. We were duped. Closing day was chaotic, and we were going back and forth with the seller of this house to get a new offer in. We were trying to ask him for money so we could pay to like get a dumpster, because that's how bad it was, and pay for cleaners. Like, the smell in this house, it was bad. Anyway, not to get into too much detail about that stuff, but it was a lot of back and forth, and we were supposed to sign papers at 1 o'clock. We did not end up signing papers until 4, because we had to go back and forth with the seller of this house, and he was doing runs to the dump, and we had to do another walkthrough, and it was just chaos. So anyway, that night, like, the house, to give an example, the house smelled so bad that we literally had to stay in a hotel the night that we signed. Like, we're like, oh, we just bought our beautiful home. I was gonna say first house. We just bought our second house. How exciting. No, we were in a hotel the first night we were supposed to stay here, because that's how bad the house was. Anyway, next day, movers came, and we could not put anything in the house because that's how dirty it was. It was disgusting. And like, I love cleaning. If you know me, like, I fucking love a good clean. But this was something I was like, could I have done it? Yes, but I would have been like put into such an emotional spiral of like frustration and anger if I were to be the one to do it. So we hired cleaners, and that was an experience in and of itself. I won't even mention the name of the company we used because they were not great. So anyway, everything that we had from the truck, the moving truck, we had to just put in the garage, and we didn't bring into the house because we physically like could not bring things in because that's how dirty the house was. So we stayed in the hotel for another 2 days. I think we stayed there. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 2 nights, 3 days that we were in the hotel. Anyway, after that, we're only on May 3rd, by the way. Like, it's fucking crazy. That day we have the cleaners come, and like, meanwhile, I'm like going behind them. So I asked them to start cleaning in our bedroom. They finished cleaning the bedroom. I then have to clean up after them, and then I could bring in our furniture and start building it. So that day was just me at the house. We found mold under the sink. We just go back and watch those moving vlogs if you really want to see complete chaos mode. That weekend, we had everyone come over, basically. We had my parents come, we had Josh's parents come, we had basically Josh's brother, like childhood best friend Darji come, and they all helped us unpack and kind of got things settled as they would be for the foreseeable future. And then we had our driveway paved. When we first bought the house, the driveway was just dirt and whatever. So we got the driveway paved. We also experienced the first Lisbon food truck night, which our new town has so much more going on than where we lived previously, and it's incredible. So they do a food truck night every other Tuesday in the summer. And so we like explored our downtown area, and like, not that we met people, but we just experienced that, like, our first like community event here, which was really awesome to do so soon. And then we celebrated our first year wedding anniversary. So we got married May 13th, 2023. And so, in between all of this, we got fleas. That's how dirty this house was, okay? We got fucking fleas. That is another process in and of itself, but while we're dealing with the fleas, we were going to cancel our like anniversary things, but we were like, we got them under control enough that we felt okay to leave the cats. And then we also just knew like whatever's going to, like, we've gone through shit for 2 weeks with this house, so we're like, we need to get away. So we did. So we celebrated our first year wedding anniversary in Portland, and it was just like completely great. Josh and I have been together for 8 years this year, and we'd never had an anniversary because he asked me out 3 times and I had to say no. And just like we never like had a real date to it. So having our like wedding, we obviously have a new date that we can celebrate. So it was really exciting to have our first anniversary. Yeah, and then we were kind of just settling in. I went back to the gym. May 19th was the first day I was back, which was perfect timing because they opened a new gym around me. So got to experience that. And then finally feeling like myself after surgery and being able to get back into like my most normal routine. Then we had a camp weekend. Josh's parents owned some land up in Phillips, Maine. So we went there for a long weekend, which was great. And by that time we finally had no fleas. I say no fleas. It was kind of off and on. Like we would think we had no fleas and then we'd see them again. And that went on for like a solid 8 weeks. And then we did a whole fucking flea bombing of the house and got the cats like them flea bombed, which like, I don't know how great that was for them. Anyway. And now we are in June. So June I started training for a 5K, which I don't usually do because I know I can run 3 miles, but especially after being out of routine for so long, I really was like craving something. So I was going to the gym and running. Like I mentioned, we were doing some flea bombing. My niece turned 4, which was great. We hired a dumpster, which was a long time coming. Like, as I mentioned, the house was just not, like, we did not want to have people over the house because we were just so embarrassed by, like, I mean, it wasn't even our doing. It's, like, the previous owner. And then what was also great is Josh's dad has a tractor. So Josh's dad left his tractor here, and then we were using the tractor to help clean up the trash. So we had the dumpster for a long weekend and got rid of almost everything. We could still go for one more small dumpster, but we literally, I don't know what, a 50-yard dumpster, like the biggest dumpster you can get, we had, and we filled it to the brim. So we're hoping to get that again in the summer, probably a smaller one though. For July, let's see. Oh yeah, July we finally didn't have fleas, like 100%, because we flea bombed twice in June, which is crazy. Anyway, July was fun. We had the Moxie Festival, which, like I was just saying, our town does like so much more here than we had in our previous town. So the Moxie Festival is basically like, I don't know, like Old Home Day kind of thing for your town, but strictly Moxie themed. Like the soda, that's absolutely fucking disgusting. Yeah, it's hilarious. So it was Moxie weekend, Moxie Festival, and like I ate that shit up. Like I'm gonna lean in. So my parents and I and my brother Zach ran the 5K. We went to the parade, which is the longest parade in Maine allegedly. We had all that. Like it's so funny. Like just Moxie stuff all over the place. So that was hilarious. Started using Bumble BFF for real, and met a new friend. That would be Audrey. I've met 3 like decent friends off of Bumble BFF, and I gotta say, like, Bumble BFF is the best decision I've made. it helped so much to like meet new people in new areas, especially being new to the area. It was great. And working from home, it's like, how else am I supposed to meet people? I guess I like could at the gym, but Bumble BFF just made it so easy. This is not an ad, I wish it was. But anyway, so I met my first friend, Audrey, from Bumble BFF, which is awesome. We bought and ordered and delivered a shed. I met my coworkers for the very first time. I've literally worked at Wayfair for 4.5 years at this point, and in July would be like 4 years, and I finally met my coworkers for the first time. It's been a long time coming. Of course, like I see everyone from the shoulders up. I've like mostly know these people, but actually putting like a physical being to the name and to the like shoulders up was incredible. So that was really awesome. Now we're in August. A lot of the rest of the year is just like home stuff, it seems. Unfortunately, like throughout the summer, lost one of my best friends. She did not die, but I mean, it feels that way for us, like going through the grief, but going through a breakup basically with my childhood best friend, which, yeah, that was like July, really, that happened. And then August was like, it was settling in, like, oh, this is really real. Like, it feels like she's dead because of like the lack of contact at this point, like being blocked and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to dive into that. Anyway, so at that same time, our Josh's brother and now sister-in-law got married. They had a very intimate wedding, so they just had their two best friends and Josh's parents there. And so they did like a ceremony like that. Later in the year, we actually like had like a reception or like a party at their house to celebrate. But for that, it was just like them, they got married. We also like got invited into our financial advisors like activities. We do have a financial advisor, and usually we would just see them like, I don't know, once or twice a year, but we started getting invited to events because we're like, that's how much we have invested with them, I guess. I don't really know, but anyway, so we had like a cruise that we went to with them, which was great. We went to the alllll free concerts, a couple of them, and that's great if you live in the like mid-Maine area, or like realistically like southern Maine, and you can travel up to Freeport. alllll does free concerts, which is awesome. And then let's see what else. Okay, now we're in September. Had another camp trip, met Josh's coworkers, our driveway loamed, not great. Had my 4-year Wayfair anniversary, which was exciting. Celebrated my 26th birthday, which was awesome. And I started college. This was something I never expected of myself. I really didn't ever think I'd be someone that would go to college. But in August, I was like dipping my toe in the water and getting the idea of doing so. And in September, I made that happen. So currently go to Purdue University Global, getting my bachelor's in business administration with a focus in marketing management. And I'm 2 terms in now, and I should be done by 2028, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. So no, yeah, started school, which was a lot, and a perfect distraction while going through like my grief process of losing my best friend. It was definitely a healthy distraction. Let's see. Throughout that time, like going paddleboarding with my new friend Audrey, which was awesome. And I also met Sophia, who is another one of my Bumble BFF girls. And she is great. And again, Bumble BFF is awesome. So that was great. And then, okay, so now for October, celebrated Tyler and Stephanie's wedding. Like I said, they had their wedding previously, but we were like having the party at their house for that. And then, let's see, we had Josh's dad come over and they started fixing up the garage. That was a whole process, and now it's finally up to like a code. Like basically the ceiling inside was kind of sloping like this, and now there's a big beam in the middle and it's flat. Like you go in and it feels so much bigger because it's like actually level. So that process started. Also met another Bumble BFF friend, Abby. So those are my 3, and they're all like now at this point, like I can't really imagine my life without them in it, because like they've made that much of an impact already. So yeah, I love Bumble BFF. So that happened. It was kind of a quiet month. Oh, we had a volunteer day with my work, so I could meet more coworkers for the first time, and volunteer in my community. And like we do it at the Animal Refuge League up in Brunswick, and like being able to like be with the animals all day, just absolutely perfect. Coming to November, ran a 5K with my mom. Well, my mom couldn't run, but it was like for her basically. So we ran a 5K. We had the election day, which I don't need to go into, but that's just a lot. Developed our relationship with Abby and Sophia and Audrey. At this time, Audrey was in Colorado, so we couldn't hang out physically, but we would like FaceTime, all that kind of stuff. And then Abby and her husband, actually, like we went out all together, like me and Josh, Abby and Ben. And so we all became a little friend, like more couple friends, which is awesome. I should text her. We should get together soon. Developed my relationship with Sophia. We were like always doing something fun. Started donating plasma, which is great. Like I'm making money for it. Just having a great time. Like I'm making extra money, getting to sit for an hour and like watch some YouTube. Like, hello. Yes, absolutely. So that was fun. Celebrated Josh's 29th birthday. What year is it? Yeah, his 29th birthday. And I got him tickets to the Patriots game, and it was the best seats yet. That's up in a vlog too, and absolutely loved like being able to give that for him. Let's see, saw Wicked. Yes, I fucking loved it. Wicked is obviously incredible. Not to be like that girl, but like growing up, like my mom had the book, tried to read it, couldn't really get through it, and also like that is not a book for a child. Like absolutely not. That book is vulgar. Anyway, tried the book, saw the show on Broadway, and like being able to see the movie was so good. I had my hesitations. I did not think Ariana Grande was a great pick for that role. I was wrong. I was. And Cynthia Erivo, so fucking talented. And now the fact that we have to wait till next November, or this November, gosh, bummer. Yeah, donating plasma literally twice a week. Awesome. Let's see. Okay, now we're in December. So just last month. Did a shit ton of overtime. I think I was working between 50 and 60 hours for like 3 weeks in a row. Which doesn't seem like a lot saying that out loud, but it felt like a lot. Along with that, I was doing a running challenge. One of my coworkers had the bright idea, and she was like, here's something we can do. 12 days of 5Ks. So we have to run 12 5Ks up before Christmas. I was like, I hate that idea, but absolutely, I'll do that for you. So we did that together. And by together, I mean like we trained separately, but we completed that challenge. And that was great. Like I don't run that frequently. And being able to say like, yeah, I ran 12 5Ks in December, which like all by the 20th. I ran 12 5Ks by the 20th. Like that's not something I would have liked to say. And all with that, like I'm also like working and going to the gym, all that kind of stuff. And then my second term for school started. So now I'm doing 2 classes, which is still going on right now. And yeah, what else? Oh my God, I hosted my girls' night, which was so great. I was able to bring together like one of my friends from high school, my sister-in-law, or my 2 sisters-in-laws basically. One's like a fiance-in-law right now, but sister-in-laws for sure. Along with my Bumble friends and just like a friend from years ago. So it was like bringing everyone all together in like my home. And that was the first time I was like, felt like I actually hosted in this house. And it was so great. We had like a crafty night and had great food and great drinks. And it was just so refreshing. And I think I'm going to do that quarterly now. Like I got to plan something for February for sure. I'm going to do a little Valentine's Day vibe. Yeah. Anyway, just absolutely love all of my girlfriends, and I cannot explain like how important it is to have like a community of like strong women around you, and I'm so glad that I have that. That was actually the start to my 2-week vacation, and I had not taken off this much time off in forever. With my surgery, I had a week and a half off, but also it's like I'm recovering from surgery. It's not really like a vacation. It's like my body is physically doing more work than I ever had to do, you know? But with that being said, I had 2 full weeks off. So I was off from the 21st until the 6th. Just a moment of silence for that one. I mean, God, that was incredible. I love that. Josh and I went to Gardens Aglow. That's up in Booth Bay, and that was incredibly beautiful. We've gone before, but like this year they really stepped it up for sure. Celebrated Christmas, both with Josh's family and my family. It's hard being this far away. Like right now, like I'm 2.5 hours away from my parents. We're an hour or so away from Josh's family, so we are kind of like out of the way, but we were able to make it work where we could see both families on Christmas Day, which was really great. What else? We celebrated the New Year. We just stayed in, did all of my goals and all that, which I will talk about after this. So yeah, that was my 2024 recap. 2024 was absolutely fucking bonkers. I think it was one of the harder years of my life so far. I'm 26, like I mentioned. And I will say, my life has been pretty easy, okay? Like, I'm lucky. With that being said, 2020 was obviously, for a numerous of reasons, very difficult, but 2024 was the most emotionally difficult year, and one of them. It's up there. I think 2020 probably has a beat, but 2024 was very, very tough for me. At least the beginning, like 3/4 of the year, the final quarter of the year has been like, I feel so much different than I do right now than I did last year. And I've just grown so much emotionally, and like, I feel so full. Like my life is so, like I feel rich. Like my life is very rich, in like so many different aspects. And I'm just so glad that year, I did not let that year take it out of me. It would have been very easy a lot of times to just stop and give up, but I didn't, and I'm really proud of myself for that. Alrighty, now let's talk about 2025. This year has already been off to a great start. I got a new tattoo, which is of my bee girl. I was 15 this year, and so this is my best friend, truly. As my sister put it, she's my very first love, and I just love her so much. But got a tattoo to commemorate her. It's not a memorial tattoo because she's alive, but commemoration? I don't know. Anyway, I got tattooed. It was incredible, and like, I'm loving the home that we are in. It took a long time to get to this point of actually liking this place, but finally feeling that now. It, like, looking around, like, it finally feels like our home. And we still have a lot to do. We have a lot we want to change and a lot we want to accomplish in this house, but for now, we're just so happy to finally like this place. With that being said, let's talk about my 2025 goals. I'll also put in a picture right now of my vision board for the year. I did so good on my vision board, I just gotta say, I'm proud of it. But I want to talk about my other goals. My journal, I will link down below as well. I love this one this year. It is, I'll insert a picture if you can't see it from here, but it is so nice. Like, I literally, this is me. I have universe within me, okay? And I love this. Diving into 2025 goals. If you did not watch my chatty New Year's video last year, you would not know that I did a low spend year. How I like to do my low spend year is to have a guidelines. It's not just don't buy anything at all. It's more, here's things you can always buy. I like to do the green, yellow, red system. So there's green things I can always purchase, yellow things I want to like actually be thoughtful about when I am purchasing, and then red things that I will absolutely not allow myself to purchase throughout the year. So this year I'm doing that again, but I've adjusted my guidelines, not only from experiencing last year's low buy year, but I've learned so much from that process. In the short, I've learned how to be so much more thoughtful with my purchases, and like, even without making these guidelines, I know that I would be much more intuitive and thoughtful with this process. I have my green, yellow, and red system, like I mentioned. So for green purchases, and I'll just go through this quickly, there's plenty of other people out there that have much more in-depth like videos for this, so I just want to touch on my goals for this process. So my green purchases, we have groceries, of course. I want to be going into the store for the most part, but during busy times, I am going to allow myself to get like paid for delivery. Home materials being like paper towels, toilet paper, tissues, trash bags, all that kind of stuff, I'm obviously going to allow myself to purchase as well. Personal care items, I will always allow myself to purchase shampoo, conditioner, body wash, face wash, moisturizer, serum, eye cream, exfoliator, chapstick, lotion, toothpaste. That's just like things that are part of my daily routine that I'm not willing to give up. And with these purchases, I'm not going to purchase them just to purchase them. I'm going to purchase them as I need them. Date weekend, Josh and I will do a date weekend once a month where one of us goes out for dinner, or well, we both go out to dinner, one pays, and then the other one pays for an activity. So I'm date week on here paying for 6 dinners and 6 activities since we go off on those. Home maintenance and repairs, of course, those are going to be on there, with one optional large project, which I'll go into for the yellows. Bills and appointments, of course, are in the green. So now, yellow purchases. My note with my yellow purchases is that fun purchases have to be made with the money I make from plasma or from bonuses, that kind of stuff. I don't want that money just coming out of my like personal, like real money. So other money is like fun money. You know? With that being said, yellow purchases, personal care being like hairspray, hair mask, heat protectant, things that I don't necessarily need but want, and makeup. Gifts, flowers, I always like send my girlfriends flowers for their birthdays. Anything celebratory, also I send flowers for that. Just because gifts to a point. And then holiday, I want to be thoughtful with gifts for Josh, and then we do a Yankee swap with my family. So just thoughtful with those gifts. And then another purchase of fun, like yellow purchase would be traditions. So like we do Christmas PJs every year. So that would be like a yellow, like want to actually think about it before and not just get whatever. Trips and experiences, that's a yellow purchase. Going to allow ourselves to do that. Replacing item, note on here only as needed. And then I'm going to be more lenient. This is like, what's yellow? Me. What's yellow and green? Like a teal purchase that's like kind of more green than yellow, but on my yellow list is gym gear. I've had my pair, like the leggings I wear right now for like years on end. So I'm going to be a little more lenient when it comes to replacing those. My replacing items, only want to do that as needed. I'm getting into the fun stuff. Planned fun purchases. So a workout ring. So I usually wear the Apple Watch, which is great, but this year I want to try out the Ringcon ring. Probably heard of it, the Aura ring. The Ringcon basically though is similar as in it tracks your sleep, your temperature, your workouts, your activity, your steps, all that kind of stuff, except you don't need to pay for a membership for it. So I would like to upgrade to that at some point this year. Like I said with the fun purchases, this is made with fun money, aka blood money from donating plasma or like making a bonus or like sometimes a dog sit, that kind of stuff. Just not real money. With that being said, clothes I would like to upgrade. I'd like to upgrade my basics, and then thrifting is in my yellow to replace clothing as needed. So it's like I have this sweater, like a turtleneck that has a hole in it. So if I'm going to go thrifting, I can replace that sweater, but I don't need to get any more. Looking to get some brown shoes, which is very specific. One larger furniture item per quarter max. So like I said, we just moved into this house last year. And so we definitely have a lot of things that we would like to get for this house, but nothing we really need at this point. Like we have everything we need. We just want to like make those upgrades. So allowing us to purchase one item for the home, like one large item. So like we want to replace our dining table at some point. We want a kitchen island. We want to upgrade our bed frame. We want a different guest bed, like things like that. Like I'm allowing that once a quarter max. It's not required, of course, being a yellow purchase, but if we are wanting to upgrade something, we're not going to just get whatever we want. We're only going to do one thing per quarter. And then tattoos. So I've not gotten tattooed. Well, before my most recent tattoo, I had not gotten tattooed for upwards of a year and a half. And all of last year I did not get tattooed, and if you know me, that is not normal. I get tattooed at least once a year typically, but I'm proud of myself. I made it a full year without getting tattooed. So with that being said, this year I wanted to allow myself to get my tattoos, as that is something I care about and like I love. So I've already gotten a tattoo this year. It's a Lucy girl. I probably have inserted the picture already. I'll insert another one, but allowing myself to get 2 tattoos this year. So one is that, and then I have another one planned already. I have my consultation actually in a couple weeks for that, and I'll take you guys along with that process, but I'll keep that one a surprise for now. But 2 tattoos, and all right, that's the fun purchases. Moving on to activities, unlimited activities with friends and family. This is something that, like, when you're making new friends, it's kind of hard to do things for free, in my opinion. Like, In the summer, it's great because we can go paddleboarding, we can go kayaking, we can go on a walk. In the winter, it's like if we want to do something, we kind of have to pay for something, like inside. Anyway, with that being said, I'm always going to allow myself to spend time with my friends and family, regardless of how much that costs, like to a point. So activities, unlimited amount with friends and family. If I want to do something solo, I allow myself one activity a month that's like has a cost for me solo. Hosting materials as needed. Like I mentioned, I was just hosting our girls' night, and that was so much fun, and I'm so much looking forward to the next one. So I'm allowing myself to get like hosting apparatus as we need it for whatever thing I want to host. Maybe a holiday. My sister has claimed Christmas, and since she does have a child, that's like important for them to celebrate Christmas in a specific way. They're hosting that, so I've given up the need for that, but maybe some other holiday. I'm thinking I want to do Mother's Day, since I'm not a mother and the other women in my life are or want to be or will be. And so like I'd love to be the one that hosts that, because like of course I don't have that obligation. Like I'm a cat mom, but I'm not a real mom. So like I think hosting that and taking that off of their plates would be great. Crafts. Right now I'm like in the middle of a crochet project, and I love painting, I love coloring, I love being creative. So I'm allowing myself to purchase those kinds of things, but only when I run out. And that is that. Now on to red purchases. Unnecessary drink runs. I don't know about you guys, but I love a glass of wine. I love a cocktail. But like if Josh is like heading home from work, I don't need to be like, hey, you want to pick up a drink on your way home? Like we don't need to be doing that. So like if we have a stocked cabinet, like a liquor cabinet, and like wines and things. So if we want to enjoy something, we can. But we don't need to like go out of our way to get something like on the way home that we don't want. Like we have enough here to like make it something if we want to. So unnecessary drink runs is on there. We don't need any more games. This entire cabinet thing is filled with games, so we don't need any more of those. Blankets, like we have enough blankets. Okay, we have like 18,000 blankets. We don't need any more blankets. Candles, don't need any of those. I use a lot of incense, and I have like literally hundreds of incense sticks I could use. So focusing on using those up before we get into more candles. Small decor. We don't need any small decor at this point. Like we have a lot of things. So if we're going to be focusing on purchasing things for the home, I'd rather them be like those bigger ticket items. I don't want to spend money on like a small thing this year really. And then merch. So like podcast merch, like supporting creators. As important as it is for me to like support the people that like are my emotional support people, you know, I don't want to support them by purchasing merchandise from them. So that is my low spend year goals. And now we can talk about like just generalize like my 2025 like wants and like accomplishments. Okay, so I left my journal over there. Come with me. Okay, thank you. All right, so talking about my 2025 wants, I don't really want to call these goals. It's just things like I'd like to accomplish, but like I'm not striving, you know. My 2025 wants, this is going to be quick. I know I've been chatting for forever in this video, but I missed it, guys. I really did. And vlogs will be coming back starting the video after this one, so definitely subscribe if you want to see more an insight to my life. Anyway, 2025 wants, 25 things I'd like to accomplish, but like, I don't know, saying goal doesn't feel right for me this year for some reason, so I'm just calling them my wants. I'd like to build up my personal savings, which was like part of the low spend year, which I was able to do last year. Just want to do more of that this year. I like to go on 2 to 4 trips / vacations. So I know we are going to celebrate our anniversary again this year. My brother's getting married, so that'll be a fun like week vacation for us. What else? Those are the 2 things we have really planned right now, but would love to do some more. Build on my field. Next up, building on my female friendships. Like I mentioned, I've just felt so full at the end of this last year and the beginning of this year, just because of like the depth of the friendships I have right now, and I would just love to really build on that. More hosting. I've already gone into that. Would love to do more. Complete my freshman school year. I know, that'd be really cool. I'm in term 2 right now. I don't know. I honestly can't say how many terms there are per year, but I'd love to complete my freshman school year, since I would have been going to school for a full year come this September. Run a half marathon. The friend that I talked about that did the 12 days of 5Ks, I've convinced her to sign up for a half marathon with me. So that half marathon is in October. So it's a ways away, and I will be doing it. Like, I've signed up for it, I've paid for it, so it's gonna happen regardless of whether I walk it or run it or something. But I would love to like actually like lean into the training of that and like really be ready for it. My last half marathon I did the day after I graduated high school, and I didn't train for it, and I would just love to train for this one. So anyway, that's on there. What else? Post a video a week. I've already been doing that for the past, I don't know, long time. So I would just like to maintain that this year. Maybe get into Reels. I did just remake an Instagram. I previously deleted Instagram, I think in like 2020, a while ago. I deleted my Instagram, and a few months ago I just got it back. So maybe leaning into like short form content. Not really sure. Let me know if you guys would like that. But I'm thinking about it. I kind of like now like my Instagram just being a personal like diary, similar to like, I don't know, my YouTube videos, I guess, but in picture form. So we'll see about that. Be patient with Josh and our relationship. I don't know, there's definitely things like, I feel so like nitpicky about some things sometimes, and I would just like to like release that urge and let go. That's another thing, specifically with like this friendship breakup I've had. I've found it very difficult to actually like let it go, or like, I don't know, let them hate me for whatever reason. I've just had like a lot of confusion around it still, even though it's been a while, and I'd love to just like let that feeling go. Craft once a week at minimum. So like I was saying, like painting or crocheting or coloring, anything like that, I would love to just do a bit more of. That is my 2024 recap, 2025 goals. 2024 was something else. Hope you guys had a great year. I'm looking forward to this next one. I can like, doesn't your frontal lobe develop when you're 26 or something? Like, I think I felt that this year. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you guys for being here for the past few years. I've had YouTube for like 10 years at this point, and being consistent on it for, I don't know, I think the past 4 or 5, and I love it. Like, I love my little diary, my little video diary. So thank you guys for being a part of it. I'm gonna eat some lunch, and I'll see you guys next week for another video.